We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin.
And today, faithful acolytes, we take a look at this.
Our ceremonial sauce comes courtesy of Roger Dams of Burn Your Tongue, cleverly not so hidden in the Quilted Bear in the Newgate Mall in Ogden, Utah. We raise our flames to Roger. The hallowed shelves of Burn Your Tongue now hold over 700 sauces, making Burn Your Tongue one of the largest sauce purveyors anywhere. If you're a chili head, you must make the pilgrimage. You can also find Roger on Facebook at the link in the description below.
Continuing the trend of Angry Goat Pepper Company having fun animal labels, we have got the very best kind of elephant, the pink elephant. The gray ones are good too. The ones that are out in the wild are also awesome. And the elephant beer is not bad. I mean, there's some elephants that are okay. The red ones are not what I would characterize as that, but we're taking a look at the pink one here. And this is, of course, a cranberry and ghost pepper sauce. So they're calling it here poultry, pork, eggs, pizza, or mixed drinks. Mixed drinks, I think, would actually be really interesting. Let's see, obviously, I like this sauce quite a lot. You can see we're getting down there. Let's take a look at the ingredients. So we have cranberries, apple juice. We've got cane sugar, habaneros, red bell, apple cider vinegar, jalapeno, ghost pepper mash, pomegranate juice, and fresh ginger. So I thought that this was going to be a relatively straightforward cranberry sauce. And of course, the thing that we think of when we think of cranberry sauce is, probably for most of us, is turkey. And I thought, okay, so I got actually they have these deep fried turkey breasts at the grocery store. I got one of those. And that's how I initially tried it, but it was quickly made abundantly clear to me that that was not the intent here at all. So they gave this a 6 out of 10 for heat. I'd say probably about half that for me. You can see it's a beautiful, gorgeous sauce though. I really like this actually. It looks really, really, really good. Got a lot of red stuff, red bell peppers. We've got the cranberries. We've got some pomegranate juice in there as well. Really an interesting approach for a sauce here. But as far as visuals, I think it looks great. It does look kind of like, though, your basic cranberry compote, as far as I'm concerned. But, all right, let's get into the taste here. Mouthfeel, very much in that cranberry thing, but the first thing you notice is that that was not the intent for the sauce. The effervescence of that fresh ginger is just running right through there. which is really, really good and really novel and kind of inventive, I think. But it didn't work very well with turkey. I did not enjoy that. You know, maybe part of it has to do with expectations, right? Where you're expecting the traditional Thanksgiving stuff, I think it is not to be tampered with, I think, for me, for most of the time. And so when I'm expecting that, and that's actually what I want, throwing that effervescence of ginger in there, just to me was just a really hard turn. So I didn't like it on turkey. I did like it on other stuff, though. Pizza, again, ginger and pizza, not for me. Again, eggs as well. Pork, I think, would be kind of interesting, but this is not going to last long enough for grill season for me to get to pork, I'm pretty sure. Because it is fantastic on chicken strips. It is really, really, really good in that application. In fact, I think it's one of my favorite sauces for that. It is really quite good. Nice and fruity. You got the ghosties in there. Ghosts and berries play together nicely, very nicely. The ginger is just, I really like fresh ginger, but I don't like it on every single thing. You know, I think you have to be very judicious because it is, or at least it can be somewhat of a strong, I hate to say polarizing, but it is definitely, I guess, a flavor unto itself, and it doesn't go well with everything. I mean, there's not a lot of flavors that do go well with everything. That one for me definitely doesn't. I love it in stuff like Asian foods. I don't know how I would like cranberry though with Asian foods. Cranberry again is a very distinctive taste. It's fascinating. I'm leaning towards a 2 actually on this. I really like what they did here though. I mean, Angry Goat is just super, super, super inventive. I've got to tip my hat to them again. I don't know if they're my favorite outright, but they definitely are climbing. So, all right, this I happened to find in the store, and what this is a Lean Cuisine apple chicken cranberry, and it's some sort of dish with green beans. You can see there, it's got chicken, it's got orzo, it's got carrots in it, and of course cranberries, and there's some apples also in there, I believe. So I thought, okay, I've never had this before. I don't know if it's any good. And but I thought, cranberry, chicken, who knows? Maybe it'll be good. This is smelling a bit herby to me though, so I guess I should try to figure out if I like this by itself first. So let's try that first. Try to get a little bit of everything here. So we got chicken, we got let's get a carrot too. All right, everything this has to offer in one bite. It's not what I would say is bad. It's this is not a dish I would have ever thought to put together. The chicken definitely needs some help here. It's very subtle. It's very mild flavored. Definitely tending towards the fruit a little bit. So let's throw this in here and see how this does. It does pour a little bit gloppy, like a compote. One thing to kind of keep. It's not hot enough that it's really going to bang you if you get too much of it or whatever. And it is good tasting enough that it isn't too much of a problem, but it is something that just to be aware of. One of the big things I think with sauce is controlling, you want to try to keep control over how much you're using, I think, most of the time. Again, maybe that's just me, because I'm judicious like that because, again, I'm wanting to bump up the food, right? That's good. I took a relatively
Intriguing but pedestrian dish here. We punched up to the nines quite a bit. This is really good. Okay, I probably wouldn't have got this again. To have by itself, but with this, quite nice. You know, and that's the thing, is that flexibility with this is a bit of a challenge because it has to go with both ginger and cranberries, and I feel like that's a fairly narrow subset of foods that will do that. In cranberry by itself, I think there's a fairly narrow subset of foods where that works. This would be interesting on pork, though. I think the more you can get the food out of the way and let that kind of be the star. And I think the problem with the turkey is that it's too dry. It's not salty enough. It just doesn't have the things that are going to click with the ginger. Chicken, I think, is oily enough that it works. You just don't have that richness, I don't think, in turkey. This one, because we already have cranberries in there, this works quite well. The sauce is sort of this apple-y thing. Apple reduction, I think they call it. And it works really well. Again, for me, I cut the heat down by about a third. All right. And I said a lot about how well it goes with chicken strips, so I better have one. I might need to save this, what's left here, for a wing thing. I think this would be really interesting on wing. I'm going to do that, actually. I'm going to stop right here. Got to get Angry Goat in the wing thing somehow. I think we have just about enough left for one. Maybe a little bit more than that, but I'm going to probably call it quits right here, just to be sure. The heat is nice. It's not, to me, it's not overwhelming. It's not super, you mean, you can tell there's a ghosties flinging around in there, but it's not that punchy. Tremendous. And it really is the ginger that is steering this more towards chicken than turkey. Having ginger in chicken and pork dishes, pretty big staple of Asian food. Very nice. Again, yeah, I feel pretty good calling this a 2 as far as heat. I mean, I really like this sauce. It's brilliant as a change of pace sauce. Obviously, I spent a lot of time testing it. It's not horrible on turkey. Like I said, the combination of ginger and turkey I don't like. This would need to be a lot sweeter. I mean, it's fairly sweet sauce as it is. It's not... You get a lot of fruit-forward hot sauces that are far sweeter. This isn't quite to that. It definitely is sweeter than not, but it's not like cloying sweet or anything. It's not super sweet. Were it sweeter, I think it might work a little bit better with turkey. I mean, that's not their intent, right? Their intent is just to make this just brilliantly innovative sauce. I mean, I love how experimental Angry Goat is. I do. I think they take so many big risks with their sauces, and it's to their credit that so many of them turn out so good. This being another one, I quite like this. I have no reservations at all about saying that. I mean, you can see it's this. I have enough left to do a wing thing and maybe have one more strip after that. I'm gonna hold off though and just wait for the wing thing. But I really like it. I mean, with the chicken, it is fantastic. The chicken dish was really good. It actually made that somewhat. I mean, it made it pretty decent. It was probably barely palatable before. I mean, Lean Cuisine isn't known for high-end stuff, right? So, doing its job in that regard. But it's really fun. If you like cranberry, if you like ginger, you gotta kind of like those two things for this sauce to be worthwhile. I happen to like both of those quite a bit, but if you do like those things, this is definitely well worth checking out. The pepper flavor doesn't really show up very much for me. I mean, there's a little bit of the bitterness from the ghosties, but it's not super pepper forward either. So it's kind of letting the cranberries, and I think that even though the ginger's last, I mean, a little goes a long way when it's fresh. It's kind of letting those two things just sort of stand on their own, and I definitely appreciate that. So, but there it is, the Angry Goat Pink Elephant Hot Sauce. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.